much duration has passed. I'm not gonna lie. As per usual, I was like getting busy here and there, and then I always come back. No, but seriously, I might not reach 3,000 watch hours before the end of the year, which is sad. I have like a whole year deadline. But school is starting again, so that means I'll have to study more. That way I'll have no choice but to continue. Yo, Queen, welcome back to the stream. How's it going? Hello, hello. Finally, we're gonna get back into reading this book. I feel like, yeah, I haven't gone into it much after the first chapter, which was at the end of the Hobbit book. But look at them, bro. Like, these are so bougie. I love these books already, man. I've been depressed lately. No! Who hurt you and why? And just let me talk to it. And I noticed that my friends have kind of been picking on me. They're not your friends then. Friends and picking on you do not go together. Alright? If they're picking on you, they're fake. That's simple as that. But like, what did they pick on you for? What happened? I got this bottle for free the day I went to the concert. Islamic Relief. So, J.R.R. Tolkien, The Fellowship of the Ring, being the first part of the Lord of the Rings. So I have a bookmark here. This is chapter 2. I feel like I already started chapter 2, but then I stopped. But yeah. So let me know what they've been saying. The shadow of the past. The talk did not die down in 9 or even 99 days. The second disappearance of Mr. Bilbo Baggins was discussed in Hobbiton, and indeed all over the Shire for a year and a day, and was remembered much longer than that. It became a fireside story for young hobbits, and eventually Mad Baggins, who used to vanish with a bang and a flash and reappear with bags of jewels and gold, became a favorite character of legend, and lived on long after all the true events were forgotten. Mad Baggins. So that was Bilbo Baggins' like folk story. Cause I did something embarrassing that I don't want to say yesterday, and they keep joking about it. Oh, remember when you blank? Then laughing. I told them to stop, but they just didn't stop. Oh my god, like they're not respecting you. And I'm pretty sure it was an accident, right? Like, if it's embarrassing, you didn't mean to do it. Why would you embarrass yourself? It was an accident. They should understand. They should put themselves in your shoes. And listen, like the thumbnail of this live stream is literally relevant to what you're saying. Like, these people make fun of you, but for them, they should just take it as a warning. It could happen to them. They're not immune. They could act like, oh, I'd never do that. You never know. You never know. You can't say that for about anything. Like, I could be so sure in my faith right now and make fun of somebody who doesn't have faith or is low in faith, and that could be me tomorrow. Like, we literally can't judge for anything. And if you literally, even if it wasn't an accident, right? Let's say you did it on purpose to embarrass yourself or whatever. You telling them to stop talking about it is evidence that you are not proud of that. Like, you didn't, today you think of it differently. You didn't mean to do that. We always go to this park after school, and I notice that I'm always last to go on things. Like, I'm always the last on the seesaw thing, and I'm always last to go on the climbing equipment. I know it's a small thing, but it still hurts. Aww. Why was last? That doesn't make sense. Do they not let you go first, or Aw, man. You need better people around you. It's not right. Like, even if they're like, I don't know, the most popular people in the class or whatever, they don't have a right to treat you like that. Well, I'm sure there's less popular people in school, like, who need a friend because they dibs it or whatever. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Like, they say dibs, but you know when it comes to the car, they say shotgun, and then whoever gets to the front seat, like, yeah, they get it. Whoever says shotgun first, like, it's kind of like a universal thing. Like, ever since like olden days, like, everybody fights for first in line. But you know, we all just gotta be that friend, that one friend who lets others go. When we get the chance to be like, oh, everybody fights over this, here, let me give it to somebody else. Somebody who doesn't get it a lot. And that's, that's how you make somebody's day. We all need that kind of friend. But it's hard to come by those types of people, especially when you're younger, because people, they're not mature like that. Hello, the Cat Club, thanks. Welcome to the stream. Oh my god, your profile picture is so freaking cute. Bro, I'm gonna give you mod just because of that profile picture. But yeah, how's it going? And that's what I do. That's good. That's good, Queen. You be the friend that you wish you had. That's literally all you can do. Cause, you know, if your wish is that you had a friend who did all those things, like who made others feel seen. And there's a guy, Farzi, like he makes these reels of like him pretending to be that friend in like every situation. It's so wholesome, bro. Like, you know how to be the best friend out there and like act upon it for a skit. But like in reality, imagine if you were like that 24/7, that awesome friend. Like, oh my goodness, you'd be the prize. You know these things like shotgun or dibs at the playground, whatever the people are fighting over. It's like, in the long run, people are gonna remember how you reacted when you had the chance and like what you did when you had it. Did you care about others in that instance? Did you care about yourself? It says a lot about a person. And it's natural. No one's gonna hold it against you if you call dibs and, take it first. But in the long run, what they are gonna remember is if you put others before yourself. And it's so beautiful, like, to be that friend that you wanted to see. But most of my friends just take it for granted. Yeah, they're not gonna understand. I don't even think they're gonna remember. But all that matters is that you know yourself that you acted like that good friend. And it's not about them remembering. It's you defining who you want to be in the world. So that's beautiful. It's easier said than done, though, I swear. even today, like, I could see that feeling. I could feel it. It's like, oh, I want it. I want it for myself. Like, oh, I hate these people. They don't even deserve it. No, 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 no. It's not about them deserving it or anything. It's about you defining who you are. Whoa, that kind of sounds like the Ariana Grande song. Oh, and I think like a new person. Wait, where are you getting all these new people? I thought you already checked everybody off the list in your class. Well, that's crazy. His name's Ashton. Dang, so your non-crush days ended really fast. Wow. So is he like in the same grade as you, in an older grade, a lower grade? Hopefully not lower. Yep. So he's in the same grade. Nice. How come you never saw him before? Or like talked about him? Yeah, same grade. Okay. Yeah, well, it's weird. At school, it's like, it makes sense outside of school if you liked a person who's like a couple years older than you. But in school, it's like so weird if you like somebody in an older class or in a lower class. Yeah, like you just automatically think, oh wait, that's so weird, that's so weird. Well, it's not. Well, not when you're older, like outside of school. But different class. Oh, okay. I don't know how that works. Same grade, different class. Like, how many same grades, different class are there? That's crazy. You did say your school is big, though. Anyways. I'm in primary. Okay. Yeah. But still, if you had a different class but same grade, it must be a pretty big school. I'm assuming, because in my schools they're private schools, right? Like when I was in primary, so everybody would just fit in one class. But I don't know if that's just how it is in America as a whole, or that's a difference in Australia. But yeah, don't be depressed, okay? If there's anything to learn from this, it's how to be a better friend. And you wouldn't, you know, have all these things highlighted in your brain. Like, I wish people were like this, if you didn't experience this. So take what you can from this experience. And it's a painful one. I'm sorry you have to go through it. But there's something that's like, pain forms you into either a bad person or a good person. It's just like a catalyst, okay? It's not like the thing that makes you or forces you into a good or a bad path. It just makes you who you are. It just clarifies who you are. So there's 7 grades, kindergarten, grade 1, 2, and there's about 3 to 5 classes per grade. Whoa. 3 to 5 classes? So how many classes are there in total? So 7 grades, 3 to 5 classes. That's at least 21 classes. Max 35. 21 to 35. That's crazy. Man. And like, to think that we had like kindergarten to 10th grade, and some of these classes were so small and it still couldn't fit everybody, even though the school was 3 stories high. I think it was just a tall school. It was not big at all, honestly. But yeah, they have been expanding the school though, but still, like, towards the end, we're literally, it was bad. I think there's next, then maybe there are more classes, because on the school thing it says there are 51 classes. Oh, okay. Yeah. Maybe there's like more first or in grades compared to others. But yeah, makes sense. 51 classes though is insane. How do you not get lost? Wow, it must be a huge school. But yeah, kind of reminds me of uni, because uni has like thousands of people every day. Maybe thousands? I don't know. But yeah. I hope you don't feel depressed anymore though. Like, I hope you take what you could from what I said. But it's hard to understand when you're younger, cause yeah, like we just, all we understand is what we get out of any interaction. It's like, what about me? What about me? But try to put, even if you feel like others don't deserve it, it's like, that's not, it's not about who deserves it. It's not about what you don't get. It's about who you are and the qualities that you like to show in the world. I literally didn't go to school today because I felt too depressed to go. Oh man, dang, it was that bad. Honestly though, I feel you, man. I feel you. I'm literally that person in my friend groups, bro. Like, I have one friend group, okay, and that's like the only friend group I have, and they're all talking about one thing, and I can't even fit in. It's like, okay, I know, it's a skill issue. Like, I could fit in if I had the money to, but it's not even my interest. Even if I had money, like, I wouldn't buy Coach bags. Like, how can you talk about bags? That's too materialistic. I like talking about animals, or like, I don't know, things in general that don't, that are not boring like that. I told my dad I felt sick and I snorted water so my nose was sniffly. Don't judge. No, I'm not. I also squeezed my voice so it sounded dry. Yeah, whatever you gotta do to skip school for a day, like, maybe your classmates will miss you today and they'll be like, oh, I think, honestly, maybe we hurt Queen. Maybe we did something. Like, oh, maybe we'll be nicer to her tomorrow. Oh, she's feeling bad here. Let's be nice. Her mom died, There's a lot of reasons to be nice. Even if your mom didn't, even if nothing happened, like, you just gotta be nice in general, like. But I don't think they meant to be rude though. They're just like calling dibs. They just want what normal kids want. But yeah, I hope you feel better soon, Queen. But yeah, I'm glad to be here while you feel that way, and like in your day off from school. Hopefully talking about it could make you feel better. But in the meantime, the general opinion in the neighborhood was that Bilbo, who had always been rather cracked, had at last gone quite mad and had run off into the blue. There, he had undoubtedly fallen into a pool or a river and come to a tragic, but hardly an untimely end. The blame was mostly laid on Gandalf. Hello, Summer Milham. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Right now, we're reading The Fellowship of the Ring. If only that dratted wizard would leave young Frodo alone, perhaps he'll settle down and grow some hobbit sense, they said. And to all appearance, the wizard did leave Frodo alone, and he did settle down. But the growth of hobbit sense was not very noticeable. Indeed, he at once began to carry on Bilbo's reputation for oddity. He refused to go into mourning, and the next year he gave a party in honor of Bilbo's 112th birthday, which he called a 100-weight feast. But that was short of the mark, for 20 guests were invited, and there were several meals at which it snowed food and rained drink, as hobbits say. Some people were rather shocked, but Frodo kept up the custom of giving Bilbo's birthday party year after year until they got used to it. He said that he did not think Bilbo was dead. When they asked, "Where's he then?" he shrugged his shoulders. He lived alone, as Bilbo had done, and he had a good many friends, especially among the younger hobbits, mostly descendants of the Old Took, who had, as children, been fond of Bilbo and often in and out of Bag End. Falco Boffin and Fredegar Bolger were two of these, but his closest friends were Peregrine Took, usually called Pippin, and Merry Brandybuck, whose real name was Meriadoc, but that was seldom remembered. Merry. Frodo went tramping over the Shire with them, but most often he wandered by himself, and to the amazement of sensible folk he was sometimes seen far from home walking in the hills and woods under the starlight. Merry and Pippin suspected that he visited the elves at times, as Bilbo had done. Hello, raise your voice or get closer to the mic, please. If it's quiet, then she's get your phone fixed. The sound is very low on max volume, bro. Oops, sorry. Welcome to the stream, alias Matt8328. Is my voice clear now? No, it's for others to hear her better as well. Okay, yeah. I don't know. No, people usually don't say my voice is low. Unless my mom is sleeping here. I hear her fine. Thank you, Queen. But yeah, how's it going, alias Matt? Yes, a little better there. Okay, nice. As time went on, people began to notice that Frodo also showed signs of good preservation. Outwardly, he retained the appearance of a robust and energetic hobbit just out of his tweens. Some folk have all the luck, they said, but it was not until Frodo approached the usually more sober age of 50 that they began to think it queer. Frodo himself, after the first shock, found that being his own master and the Mr. Baggins of Bag End was rather pleasant. For some years, he was quite happy and did not worry much about the future, but half unknown to himself, the regret that he had not gone with Bilbo was steadily growing. He found himself wondering at times, especially in autumn, about the wild lands and strange visions of mountains that he had never seen came into his dreams. He began to say himself, "Perhaps I shall cross the river myself one day," to which the other half of his mind always replied, "Not yet." So it went on until his 40s were running out and his 50th birthday was drawing near. 50 was a number that he felt was somehow significant or ominous. Bro, I don't have voice dry. Anyway, I find it hard not to break down when I'm overthinking. Yo, I'm so sorry to tell you this, Queen, but it doesn't get better when you're older. No, because I relate so much right now. Great, I hope you're fine too. Thank you, Ilias. Have you read the Lord of the Rings before? I'm trying to get into reading, so this is a good starter book. Well, my first fictional book was The Hobbit, so this is just the books that come after The Hobbit. And it's so good, honestly. I enjoy it every time I read it. Or every, like, I'm not saying every time as if I read it before, but like, yeah, it's really good. Like, I'm thinking about if anyone even likes me or if they actually find me annoying. And then I feel myself tearing up and I'm like, oh, because I sit right next to the teacher. Aw, Queen. If I were that teacher, I'd be like, aw, yeah, let me give you a hug. Or, do you need to take a break? You could go outside play. Actually, no, that's dangerous. Don't go outside without teacher supervision. I just let you like put your head down or like I don't know. The teacher doesn't say anything or do anything. That's crazy. Not really, but watching your students is a good start to get into them. That's good. That's good. Reading is good for everybody. It builds your vocab. It builds your imagination. Like it uses parts of your brain. It grows your brain too, like neuroplasticity. I don't know. But yeah. So did you ever end up crying, Queen? Like I know you said tearing up, but I've been there. I swear I've been there. Like my teacher, I was crying about my grades though, and she was just like, "Oh, what's wrong?" Honestly, I wasn't crying about my grades. I was crying, like I don't even care about my grades like that, bro. I was crying because the kid who's passing out the papers with our grades on it, he's like making that face, like ooh, like he was judging me. I'm like, "Hey yo, be quiet, nerd." He's the only guy who used to know how to speed cube, and then other people got inspired and they learned. And then I was like, oh, can you fix my cube? He's like, you can't do it yourself? Like, he's so judgmental. I hate that guy. But he had long hair, so everybody thought he was cute. I've been reading the first book of Warrior Cats. Is that how you spell it? Warrior? I think it's Warr. Actually, wait, let me think. Warior? I don't think there's two. It looks wrong. Yeah. It's WA. Wait, let me spell it out. 1 second. I need a thing. Not white pen. That? Hold on, wait. Oh, warrior. No, it's not O. It is warrior. Why does that look so wrong? Wait. Wario. I think that's how you spell it. Warrior. Oh, there's 2 R's, huh? Okay. Bro, this is some type of Mandela effect. How? I haven't been spelling, okay? I'm old. Call me some slack. You shouldn't care about other people's opinion, Queen. If you're generally respectful and nice to others, then don't overthink nothing. Exactly. I think, and she definitely is generally nice. Like, I haven't seen her act rude once, and I've known her for quite some time. Like, she's an old subscriber. Bro, how did I take this out of my drawer and it doesn't fit back in? That's crazy. Alright. Oh, sorry, there's a ghost in my house. Really? What makes you say that? Probably some, I don't know, animal, since Australia has so many animals. But yeah, it could be a ghost. Actually, I don't know if I believe in ghosts. I believe in jinns, which are not ghosts. They're actually a different type of creature. It's invisible to the human eye, made of smokeless fire. And people call those ghosts. But ghosts are, in definition, are the souls of dead people. But the souls of dead people go to another land. The jinns can pretend to be like those dead people, though. But it's not them. So it could be a jinn. Yeah, a lot of people, they talk about jinn stories for fun, but in the end, like, humans are stronger than jinns. Like, humans, you know, with the belief of God, if we seek God's protection, we could overcome jinns. Like, they're not stronger than us. So don't ever fear jinns, okay? Almost every night, I hear like a ball rolling on the floor or something, so I go to try and check where it's coming from, and it's coming from right where I am, but there's nothing. A ball rolling? That's like a marble, or maybe it's under the floor. Maybe there's like an actual animal there. And way scarier, LML. We shouldn't carry. Oh. Jinn stories are really scary, to be honest. Wait, you're a Muslim? Elias? Yo, I've been drinking so much water, my throat's not getting clear. Am I getting sick? No. Bro. It's just permanently dry. It's not scratchy though. I don't think I'm getting sick. Yes, my name is actually Ali Asmat. Oh, his name's Ali. I was like Alias the whole time. Wow. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the stream. Okay. As time went on, people began to notice that Frodo also showed signs of good preservation. Frodo himself, after the first shock, found that being on his own master so it went on until his 40s were running out and his 50th birthday draw near. Honest. It was at any rate that adventure had suddenly befallen Bilbo. Frodo began to feel restless, and the old paths seemed too well trodden. He looked at maps and wondered what lay beyond their edges. Maps made in the Shire showed mostly white spaces beyond its borders. He took to wandering further afield and more often by himself, and Merry and his other friends watched him anxiously. Often, he was seen walking and talking with the strange wayfarers that began at this time to appear in the Shire. And also, I hear vacuuming almost every night coming from upstairs, but my brother and my dad are downstairs, and it can't be my neighbor, because who vacuums at 6 p.m.? And also, my walls are very thick. Wait, so you have neighbors like, above you? So you live in an apartment or a house? Wow, you could sit out. Okay, good. Why do I say and so much? I'm hungry, but I've eaten so much today. Okay, so the answer is probably because you haven't had protein. Because protein is the thing that lasts longer in your digestive system. And it, like, keeps you full longer. But if you have, like, let's say carbs or something, it digests pretty fast. Or, I don't know if it digests pretty fast, but it definitely doesn't keep you full longer. No, beside me. They're like townhouses. Okay. So that's like me. Like, nobody, like, lives on top of us. We have, like, 2 stories, but that's about it. They only, like, live on directly the side. But, yeah, above you is pretty scary. But if it keeps happening, you'll get used to it, honestly. I had a protein bar for breakfast. Really? Oh, dang. So, yeah, I don't know. Just one is crazy, though. You need, like, actual protein, though. Like, I think protein bars are good for primary kids. Drink some Mountain Dew. I mean, water keeps you full, too. I mean, Mountain Dew's not good. That's sugar. If you're hungry and you have sugar on an empty stomach, or, like a hungry stomach, that could give you a sugar crash. Anyways, just, like, eat whatever keeps you full. Like, nothing too unhealthy, though. You'll be fine, inshallah. But yeah, welcome to the stream, Thrillho 311. How's it going? The Breakfast of Champions. Oh wow. Dang. Okay. So Thrill knows. Thrill is a champion. Okay. So let's get back to this, inshallah. There were rumors of strange things happening in the world outside, and as Gandalf had not at that time appeared or sent any message for several years, Frodo gathered all the news he could. Elves who seldom walked in the Shire could now be seen passing westward through the woods in the evening, passing and not returning, but they were leaving Middle-earth and were no longer concerned with its troubles. There were, however, dwarves on the road in unusual numbers. The ancient east-west road ran through the Shire, and its end at the Grey Havens, and dwarves had always used it on their way to their mines in the Blue Mountains. They were the hobbits' chief source of news from distant parts, if they wanted any. As a rule, dwarves said little and hobbits asked no more. But now Frodo often met strange dwarves of far countries seeking refuge in the west. They were troubled, and some spoke in whispers of the enemy and of the land of Mordor. The name of the hobbits only knew in legends of the dark past, like a shadow in the background of their memories, but it was ominous and disquieting. It seemed that the evil power in Mirkwood had been driven out by the White Council only to reappear in greater strength in the old strongholds of Mordor. The Dark Tower had been rebuilt, it was said. From there, the power was spreading far and wide, and away far east and south there were wars and growing fear. Orcs were multiplying again in the mountains. Trolls were abroad, no longer dull-witted, but cunning and armed with dreadful weapons. And there were murmured hints of creatures more terrible than all these, but they had no name. Yes, I'm here. It's a Simpson reference. Oh, really? I didn't get that. I haven't watched Simpsons my whole life. At least tomorrow is Friday, so I don't have to go through a whole week of the same exact thing. No way, really? Tomorrow's Friday? So it's the 13th today. Is it Friday for me? Oh, today's Thursday for me. But yeah, that's true. Tomorrow is Friday, in that sense. I've been fake laughing at things so people can't tell I'm struggling. Really? Dang. You want to hide that so that... It's... I feel like if you have somebody trusted, you could tell them how you're feeling, so you don't have to fake it too much. Honestly, faking is just like, people could tell eventually. Like, eyes don't lie, you know? If you're going through anything, the best thing to do is to not suppress it. Eventually it will come out one way or another. You don't want it to come out in a bad way. You shouldn't do that. Exactly, yeah. Don't fake it. Just be true to yourself and do whatever you can. Yeah. I mean, if you want to keep the friends that you are mad at the moment, the only way to deal with that is to talk to them. Because otherwise, you're not going to be able to keep them for the long run. Like I said, like, the friends, the opportunities you have when you're younger to create lifelong friends is like very limited. You only have now to do it. Otherwise, like, when you're older, you can't make lifelong friends like that too easily. You don't get chances to meet them too often when you're older. You have to, like, schedule days, and it's not like, you'll get to know them so deeply each time. I miss my mom so much. Aww. Yeah, man. I feel you. Every time I'm scrolling and I, like, see these cooking videos, I'm, like, reminded of my mom. And when my mom wasn't here, she was traveling, I was like, oh man, I miss my mom so much. Like, I miss her cooking the most. And when she's here, that's when I'm like, oh wow. I still miss her even when I see the same videos. I'm like, oh, she's right here. But I can imagine how you feel. It's like, yeah, man. So valid. If she was still here, so many of my problems would be solved. Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. Like, that's the whole role of a mother, is to be there when you're troubled and stuff, that's what being a parent is. And I'm so sorry that you don't have that. It's such a crucial time in your life too. Like, when you're a kid, when you're older, it's you still need them. Your whole life you need them, honestly. But yeah, in Islam, actually, the aunt is the same rank as the mom. So, the maternal aunt, not the paternal. Yes, it is sad when people grow up, there really isn't enough time to meet them. Exactly, yeah. So, if I were to go back in time, I'd try to be nice to all my friends so that I could keep them for the long run. But I can't say that I regret however I acted when I was younger, because everything was so valid. Like, at that age, you don't understand emotional maturity. You couldn't have done anything different. Otherwise, it'd be too weird. It's like, wait, a kid is acting like that? Who taught them that? Are they really a kid? Are they older? Like, yeah, kids act like kids, but yeah, that's the only advice I could give. I can't force anyone to act like emotionally mature. All right. Little of this, of course, reached the ears of ordinary hobbits, but even the deafest and most stay-at-home began to hear queer tales, and those whose business took them to the borders saw strange things. The conversation in the Green Dragon at Bywater one evening in the spring of Frodo's 50th year showed that even in the comfortable heart of the Shire rumors had been heard, though most hobbits still laughed at them. Sam Gamgee was sitting in one corner near the fire, and opposite him was Ted Sandyman, the miller's son, and there were various other rustic hobbits listening to their talk. Queer things you do hear these days, to be sure, said Sam. Ah, said Ted, you do if you listen. But I can hear fireside tales and children's stories at home if I want to. No doubt you can, reported Sam, and I dare say there's more truth in some of them than you reckon. Who invented the stories anyway? Take dragons now. No thanky, said Ted. I won't. I heard tell of them when I was a youngster, but there's no call to believe in them now. There's only one dragon in Bywater, and that's green, he said, getting a general laugh. All right, said Sam, laughing with the rest. But what about these treemen, these giants, as you might call them? They do say that one bigger than a tree was seen up away beyond the North Moors not long back. Who's they? My cousin Hall, for one. He works for Mr. Boffino at Overhill and goes up to the north farthing of the hunting. But he saw one. Says he did, perhaps. Your Hall's always saying he's seen things, and maybe he's seen things that ain't there. But this one was as big as an elm tree and walking 7 yards to a stride if it was an inch. As if it was an inch. Then I bet it wasn't an inch. What he saw was an elm tree as not. But this one was walking, I tell you, and there ain't no elm tree on the North Moors. Then Hal can't have seen one, said Ted. There was some laughing and clapping. The audience seemed to think that Ted had scored a point. All the same, said Sam, you can't deny that others besides our Halfast have seen queer folk crossing the Shire. Crossing it, mind you, there are more than that are turned back at the borders. The bounders have never been so busy before. Assalamu alaikum, Joya. Yo, Hayat, welcome back to the stream. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How's it going? I used to be so confident when I was younger. Like, I did the spelling bee at my old school, and I wouldn't stress for public speaking, but now I'm so insecure and shy. Yeah, I mean, my dentist used to call me a chatterbox, and that's because I used to talk so much. They're like, oh, aren't you a chatterbox? Now when I go, it's like, oh, it's so awkward. Same people, by the way. I'm just so quiet, and they're like, oh, you're that introverted teenager now. Oh, and that was when I was a teenager. They're like saying that. And then I was like, oh, yeah. But I haven't changed since. Like, it's been a long time. I can't even talk to an audience of 10 people without getting scared. Yeah, man, it takes me so long to, like, warm up to people. It's like, this is gonna take way too long. I'll never feel comfortable like that. Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. I have a question. What are you gonna do when you know you are always that second choice, not the first? If somebody chooses you, you'll always be the second. Well, if that were me, if I were always chosen second, I'll be like, alright, that's their opinion. I respect them. They're not my first option either. Like, I don't like them like that. I only like people who like me. You know? Like, I could like somebody who prefers somebody else. Like, you know, that's their first option. But in that case, I wouldn't like them. It's not like, I don't know, I guess I'm an NPC. Like, I only like them if they like me. But there's some cases where you could like somebody and they could like you back, and it's like, maybe they choose you first, you don't really know, but they don't like you equally as much as you like them. They have priorities, they're more healthy. So in that case, I'd stress out and cry my eyeballs out and then just like let them go, be like, I can't do this anymore. This is getting unhealthy. I'm sorry. That's what I am. You're the second option, Queen. Maybe you should consider therapy, Queen. I've tried it. It helps a lot. It helped a lot. I had just similar issues. They can tell you how to handle it. Generally, public speaking requires practice. That's really, really good advice, Heidi. Assalamu alaikum, sweetheart. Wa alaikum salam. Welcome back to the stream. How's it going? Sadi Dabar. My first option is Amaya, but Amaya's first is Shalin. Aww. Bro, that's so sad. But if that's the case, I want to put Amaya first then. I'd be like, okay, you found your friend, fine. I'll find my own friend. But if there's nobody else that's good enough, it's like, alright, I'll be my own friend. I'll choose me. But yeah, it doesn't work like that. You need friends when you're a kid. Hopefully she sees the good in you. Or you know what? You could raise your standards or your own status, right? By learning something cool. How about you learn to solve a Rubik's Cube? Then you could get some attention. Or get some art going. Or bake some cookies and have it for lunch. Be like, oh, look what I got. They're like, oh, can I be your friend? I'll be your friend. Like, you kind of gotta bribe kids like that. Okay, let's suppose you know somebody choose you for a marriage, but you was the second choice. What are you gonna do? I'd be like, why didn't it work out with the first one? Like, how come you don't like them? I'd be curious. I'd have to ask them these questions. I'd be like, oh, because their parents said no. I'd be like, okay, then, yeah, I mean, maybe the parents will say yes eventually. Keep trying. Pray to Hajjat or do istikhara. They'll be like, no, like, they genuinely don't want to do it. And I prayed for 2 years, and it didn't work. I'd be like, then I honestly, like, yeah, I don't feel comfortable. Like, you seem like a good person. Yeah, but if you still want them, you have to get over them first. Then you have to come to me. Just like get over it. Don't rush these things, okay? Don't rush your feelings. That's what I tell them. Because Shalyn knows how to make her laugh, and I just piss her off by doing a baby voice when I'm not doing anything. She calls it age play, and she says that I get disgusted. Like how does she know about that? Because I don't know what that was until she told me. What was? Age play? What is that? Bro, even I don't know that. Whatever she's thinking is weird. It already sounds weird. Yeah, like, literally. She doesn't seem like a good friend anyways. Just don't hang out with her. Okay, it sounds sus. If Shalyn knows how to make her laugh, it's probably something not good. Just saying, because of what she said. It's when you're doing something, you act babyish. Oh, okay. I guess, she's just thinking of you that way. She's thinking bad of you. Well, have some self-respect and stay away from people who think bad of you, okay? You're not trying to do anything. You know yourself you're not doing anything wrong. Because the first choice means you have no quality that she have better than you, like a color. We're not the same color at heart. At hair, you are short, she is taller. Oh, bruh, if he's talking about physique, cut him loose already. Just don't even go through with it. Be like, you care about physical attraction like that, and you don't care about the heart. Like, that's crazy. Why does that even matter? Of course, physical attraction matters, of course, but you know, you can't just blatantly put that out there like, oh, this is the whole reason why I come to you second. Like, what about the personality? You don't know. You didn't even know. You know what I mean by something, right? What something? I don't know what that abbreviation is. Something? Yeah, physique should not be discussed like that. For real. So true. like if you're looking at somebody for marriage, the last thing in the list should be the physique part. Okay, maybe not last, cause like if it's a guy, it's different. If it's a girl, let that be last. Okay, if it's a guy, cause like the guy, he needs a better physique than a girl. I mean, I don't get it why, but like guys lose that physique so fast after marriage. It's like, I had this cousin who's like always flexing his abs, and not flexing his abs, but talking how good he is in his fitness journey or whatever. He got married in not even the first year, less than a year. He just boom lost it all, and like I've never seen him in this physique. He's round as hell, but I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying like that's crazy, cause the guy's talking about physique and like. Okay, not physique, but like physical appearance. But he's not that hot himself. Like, who's he to be choosy? When are you doing the deed? Oh, bruh. What? What? Why does a little kid know that? Oh, whatever that is, she's just like, she's weird. Queen, honestly. Do not stick with her after that. Like, the way she thinks, man, it's nasty. These people will get your brain in the gutters, even when it's not. That's what I'm saying. For real. Is there anybody else you could be friends with who aren't that weird? Well, I guess at this age, like people are like curious about that thing, but you shouldn't be talking about it. That just makes it even more weird. Oh, by the way, yeah, man. It's really bad influence. You already know. Also, this is a PG chat, so I wouldn't say that. Yeah. Whatever the case is, the best thing you can do is distance yourself from people like that. Yo, David Solomon, welcome back to the stream. How's it going? No, it's okay. Don't apologize. I know what you were trying to say. You're not trying to be rude or non PG. It's just like you were describing the situation. I feel sometimes whatever I try to change myself, like my personality, still people saying, no, I'm not agree with her. I don't want her if she changed herself. What does that mean? Like, what aspect are you talking about? Like your people pleaser side? What side of your personality? Because people, they like those who are easily manipulated, okay? So if they don't like that bit, if they say, oh, I don't like if she changed herself in that regard, that's good. You're literally sifting out the bad people. Juwaria, assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How's it going? Did I say salam already? Oh, yeah. Maybe. Okay. So, yeah, we're reading the Fellowship of the Ring right now. So far, so good. Man, I'm such a fan of Tolkien's books so far. I mean, then again, I kind of barely read because we were yapping this whole time. The thing is, she is a good friend, just not all the time. And she's also kind of like one of my only friends. Well, okay, so I think you have this scarcity mindset, and it's easy to have that when there seems to be like there's nobody else there. But just because there's nobody else there doesn't mean you have to stick with certain people. Here, I'll tell you something really important, okay, and I hope you remember this. If it's better to be alone than with bad people, and it's better to be with good people than to be alone. So you have those three options, and yeah, honestly, don't feel bad to be by yourself, because these people will pull you down to a place of like, I don't know, like in a really bad place, and you'll get nothing for it. Even if it's just their company, they'll leave you in the end too. It's not worth it. The thing, okay, a queen doesn't have friends. A queen has knights and servants. That's true. And yo, doggy, welcome back to the stream. How's it going? So right now we're discussing Queen's friendship situation, where she has this two friends who are like really dirty minded, and they're like, really bad influence on her, and she doesn't have that, dirty mind as them, but it still has an effect on you, whether you you have it or not. Like they're gonna teach you these things that even I don't know what they're saying. Like you have to tell me what they meant. I'm not being alone during school. That would make me more depressed. Oh man. Well, I hope you find somebody good then, cause yeah, I feel you, man. It's hard to be alone, but like Native Dean said, I'm not afraid to stand alone. What's up, everyone? Nothing much. Alhamdulillah, it's going good. Sorry, Ali, I don't understand Arabic. I could read it though. المرأة علي دين خليلة فلينظر أحدكم من يخالل. I probably like butchered that so bad, but I don't know what that means. Sorry. I know min means from. Okay, deen means it's a hadith, by the way. Oh, what does that mean? Hit those people with strawberry donuts in the head. Okay, that's one way to go about it. Ali, Alush, Alawi. But yeah, let me know what that hadith means. المرء على دين خليله means a person is heavily involved by his friends. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, it's so true. Even not just in Islam, but in any book of wisdom, like throughout history, like in every religion or whatever, it's a consensus that your friends determine who you are as a person. If they're bad, you're gonna be bad. If you're good and you hang out with good people, you'll be even better. Like, self improvement. One should choose them wisely. For you, 100%. If I try to change my personality, some people maybe say is I still not agree whatever she tries to change herself. They always judge you before they know you, then judge you how you look if you are. If you're beautiful and white, taller, long hair, big guy, she married. If you're short, black, whatever you choose, you're not married. You're not that always choice. Okay, but they're trying to say things based off a really, really outdated standard of like marriage standard, beauty standard. Like these things nowadays don't matter as much, and they're still in the olden day mindset. It's like, oh, if she's black or if she's like curly hair, if she's like fatter, like she's not a good person. Like don't marry her. Like you don't want those. It's a very backwards mindset. Like you already know that, right? Like it's not anywhere in Islam to look at somebody's phenotype because that is God given. Unless it's fat, like you could work on that. But that's also a health issue, right? There could be insulin resistance, thyroid issues, metabolism rate. These are all predetermined too. Like if the only thing you can do is work out, that's like a quality you could earn. But still, like, yeah, if you don't like those phenotypes, it's not just that. It's actually deep rooted in the colonialism, that mindset of inferiority complex, to hate your own race, because that is a huge aspect of the South Asian race. I feel like, yeah, it's just I don't think people had that mindset before all that history of colonialism. It's really deep rooted. Like you have to understand the history behind these thought processes. It's really disgusting. Sometimes I wish I could just, leave the world with no traces of me because I wouldn't want to make people sad by leaving, but then again, I can't handle all of this. Oh man, Queen, that's so sad. Why would you feel like leaving? That's not going to solve anything. Pain makes me feel that way. Like the easy way it looks like just leaving, but there's a hidden blessing that we'll never see during our hardship that we'll only see afterwards. You look back at it and be like, oh, that didn't make me a better person. So always try to see how it can make you a better person in these situations. And we already went through that, right? Like certain qualities you can obtain when you wish you had a friend at that time who were like a certain people. You could be that person. 1 second, I can't find. But yeah, don't wish for that. Don't wish for death. Davey, I guess. Hey, yo, what's up, chat? Yo, Hamza Sheikh, welcome back. Assalamu alaikum. How's it going? See, Queen, I've probably said this multiple times, but in your life, find your purpose and your calling. You'll meet some people along the way, but your main focus should be to achieve what you want and follow your heart. SubhanAllah, it's beautiful. Beautiful advice, Dougie. Choosing purely based on looks and judging like that sounds vain. I know, right? Because looks fade. Like, even if you think it doesn't fade and it goes to your kids, what about your genes? You're gonna make them chopped yourself, not the girl. So Hamza, yo, how's everything? Good, Alhamdulillah. Oh, you're talking about Dougie? Or me? Oh, it's good. I'm good, Alhamdulillah. Yo, Queen, we all your friends here in the chat. Don't be sad, alright? Yeah, man, don't be sad. But it's easier said than done. Like, you can't just cheer up in 1 second, but I hope you feel better. Great books. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Nice! Cack Attack. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Yeah, I'm also a huge fan. Like, I'm reading this for the first time, but it's so good so far. Like, I love it so much. Shall we get back then? Unless Queen is typing still. And I've heard tell that elves are moving west. They do say they're going to the harbors, out away beyond the white towers. Sam waved his arm vaguely. Neither he nor any of them knew how far it was to the sea, past the old towers beyond the western borders of the Shire. But it was an old tradition that away over there stood the Grey Havens, from which at times elven ships set sail never to return. They're sailing over the sea. They're going into the west and leaving us, said Sam, half chanting the words, shaking his head sadly and solemnly. But Ted laughed. Well, that isn't anything new if you believe the old tales. And I don't see what it matters to me or you. Let them sail. But I warrant you haven't seen them doing it, nor anyone else in the Shire. Well, I don't know, said Sam thoughtfully. He believed he had seen an elf in the woods and still hoped to see more one day. Of all the legends that he had heard in his early years, such fragments of tales and half-remembered stories about the elves as hobbits knew, had always moved him most deeply. There are some, even in these parts, as known the fair folk and get news of them, he said. There's Mr. Baggins now, that I work for. He told me that they were sailing and he knows a bit about elves. And old Mr. Bilbo knew more. Many's the talk I had with him when I was a little lad. Yo, Queen. No, it's fine. Keep going. Yo, Queen, I know it's hard time right now, but my best advice is to trust Allah and believe that He sends you certain tests in life to improve the characters. Keep it up. 100%, so true. Some of the best books I've ever read. Tolkien has a lot of other writings that you can find that are also great to read. He writes such a big universe with so much lore. I don't know how he came up with all those, imagination. Like, he was such a talented writer. Like, subhanAllah. Just one guy came up with this? That's crazy. What do you say? I respect, but my experience life is saying they judge you how you look. They want personality and beauty. Oh my gosh, you sound like my sister Haya. Like, she literally, that's all she thinks about is, society doesn't respect you unless you're beautiful. Like, not just physically, but, you also have makeup and know how to dress, in a way that is attractive. And that sometimes means to do tabarruj, like to adorn your beauty. Like, it's really bad. May Allah bless you with the best of friends, Queen. Ameen, ya Rab. Be right back. Okay. An interesting fact, he wrote this during his service in World War I in the trenches of the Somme, where some of the fiercest fighting took place in all of World War I. Oh, wow. He wrote these books. Dang. So I think that's where all the... Wait, even this came from such a hard time. That's crazy. Wow, see? Like, we need these... We would have this if World War I didn't exist. That's why they're vain. Yeah, exactly. Adi. Good point. And escape from what was going on, I guess. Yeah, man. See, hard times create strong men and, like, men with, a lot of talent. It brings out a lot of talent. I like it that in Islam, beauty is defined by deen. Subhanallah. Yeah, man. Like Hamza, like, there's a hadith where the Prophet said that Allah doesn't look at a person's status or beauty, but He looks at the heart and the deeds. If the heart is clean and the deeds are good, that's what puts Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like puts somebody in high rank in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Julaybib, the I think we talked about him before in my previous live streams, but he's known as the chopped Sahabi, like the companion of the Prophet who was like what's the word? Conventionally unattractive. Like everybody agreed. And then like he was just like not getting any, proposals. He was like sad about it. So the Prophet was asking around, anybody who wants to marry him, please do it, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you. And this girl came up, she was like, okay, I'll do it for the sake of Allah, because the Prophet wanted it to happen. And Julaybib died right then, like after he got married. So the girl got the reward. She didn't know that he was gonna die, and he, died happily married. And yeah, it's a beautiful story, because well, actually, I gotta think about it a little more. Oh yeah, the Sahabi Julaybib. Yeah, sorry, but in my point of view, Sauron is just taking revenge against Galadriel. I kind of don't know what Galadriel is. I forgot. Have you read the Maze Runner series? I haven't read it, but I've watched it with my mom. I think the books are probably better. That's what I hear about everything, though. Like, the books are better. Like, it's a general statement. Well, enjoy the books. I can't recommend with his other writings enough either. Definitely worth checking out. God bless. Wait, before you leave Kakatek, what other books are you talking about than The Lord of the Rings? Because I thought he only wrote these ones. And then there's this other one with the S. Samaranth or something. Nah, probably not that. But, like, I only got recommended one other book in these series. But if you already left, then yeah, take care. When you don't have the charms of a woman, it's tough to get married. They want a woman more than a girl. They compare you between girl and woman. They're different. Ew, bro, that's nasty. Like, they want you to look more womanly, like, bro. just, they really can't be so picky with, I don't know. For them, I already know they're chopped, like, the way they're talking. Like, you really... Who even wants you, bro? Nah, man. Live for yourself, Hayat. Like, don't even think about marriage. It's not important. If these are your choices, like, these people like that. Marry somebody who respects you and loves you for who you are, your personality, your looks given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like, nobody chooses how they look by default. I'm back. Welcome back, Queen. Where'd you go? Hope you're not too depressed. Because we did talk about self-harm before, but I don't know. I think the reason behind books being better than their movies is because books come first. People judge the movie based on the book. Wait, that's so true. Like, I read The Hobbit first, and I was like, watching the movie, I was like, a lot of things are different. But that's, I don't know. Yeah, makes sense. Hence dissatisfied, and also because a book is very big, you can't include everything in a movie because it'll be too long. Oh my god, that's so true. Because The Hobbit was 3 movies, but it's only 1 book. That's how big it is. The Children Hurin is one of them. The Fall of Gondolin is another one. He has a lot of other writings that aren't technically books. Oh, really? No wonder. I was actually in Barnes and Noble, and I was looking at all Tolkien's books. I was like, let's see what other books he has. Which I could just do online, like, if I were to search it up. But, yeah, I wanted to go in person just to see the covers and stuff. I only saw one other book than these Hobbit and Lord of the Rings series. I was checking my messages. Okay. Include everything. Okay. Just a bunch of stuff he wrote down that add more lore to the stories. Children of Hurin. Sorry, my phone sucks. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll definitely check out his other books after I'm done with these. If I like it really, really much. But yeah, thank you so much, Cat Attack, and Yeah, have a good rest of your day since you're leaving. Hope to see you in future live streams. Inshallah. Oh, they're both cracked, said Ted. Leastways, old Bilbo was cracked and Frodo's cracking. If that's where you get your news from, you'll never want for moonshine. Well, friends, I'm off home. You good health. He drained his mug and went out noisily. Sam sat silent and said no more. He had a good deal to think about. For one thing, there was a lot to do up in the Bag End garden, and he would have a busy day tomorrow, if the weather cleared. The grass was growing fast, but Sam had more on his mind than gardening. After a while he sighed, and got up and went out. It was early April, and the sky was now clearing out after heavy rain. The sun was down, and a cool pale evening was quietly fading into night. He walked home under the early stars through Hobbiton and up the hill, whistling softly and thoughtfully. Hold on, I don't know why my throat's so scratchy, bro. It was just at this time that Gandalf reappeared after his long absence. For 3 years after the party he had been away. Then he paid Frodo a brief visit, and after taking a good look at him, he went off again. During the next year or two, he had turned up fairly often, coming unexpectedly after dusk and going off without warning before sunrise. He would not discuss his own business and journeys, and seemed chiefly interested in small news about Frodo's health and doings. Then suddenly his visits had ceased. It was over 9 years since Frodo had seen or heard of him, and he had begun to think that the wizard would never return and had given up all interest in hobbits. But that evening, as Sam was walking home and twilight was fading, there came the once familiar tap on the study window. Frodo welcomed his old friend with surprise and great delight. They looked hard at one another. "Ah, well, eh?" said Gandalf. "You look the same as ever, Frodo." "So do you," Frodo replied. But secretly, he thought that Gandalf looked older and more careworn. He pressed him for news of himself and of the wide world, and soon they were deep in talk, and they stayed up far into the night. Alright, Jory, I gotta go study now. Bye. Take care, everyone. Bye, doggy. Take care and study hard. Next morning, after a late breakfast, the wizard was sitting with Frodo by the open window of the study. A bright fire was on the hearth, but the sun was warm and the wind was in the south. Everything looked fresh, and the new green of spring was shimmering in the fields and on the tips of the trees' fingers. Gandalf was thinking of a spring nearly 8 years before, when Bilbo had run out of Bag End without a handkerchief. Aww. His hair was perhaps whiter than it had been then, and his beard and eyebrows were perhaps longer, and his face more lined with care and wisdom. But his eyes were as bright as ever, and he smoked and blew smoke rings with the same vigor and delight. Now, let's see how long this chapter is. I remember these chapters are pretty long, so I'm not sure where to start. Alright, there's 80 pages, so 58 is 22 total pages. Let's see. I'll read for 1 more hour, maybe. See how far we could go. Because the woman should take more responsibility, more than girls. You know, how the girl's acting like a girl. She can't act like a woman. That's meant what they say. I can't say I understand that fully, but like, what responsibilities they're talking about? Like, childbearing? They're forcing it upon the girl. Like, what if she wants to get married without having kids? I mean, I'm American, right? I'm like born here. The outlook of marriage is a lot more different than I'd say it is for you, wherever you're from. Because here it's more about like independence and freedom. You know, we don't want to continue that cycle of grief of like forced expectations of society. You choose what you want to do. That's how it should be. I don't think I'm brainwashed. I actually agree with that. Islam says, okay, it's good to have kids. Sadaqa jariyah. It's like the best thing. Marriage is a huge, sunnah as well. But none of it's fard. You don't have to do it. I'm sorry I'm saying all this, but it's such a bothering thing. And that's why I share it. Why the public society comparing girl and woman, I can't move on. No, why are you sorry? Like, you can talk about it if it's bothering you. And it's completely fine. You didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing to apologize about. I'm mad at the people you're talking about. Like, they sound like actual, like, predators. Like, I don't know how else to put it. Like, they want, like, not predators, but, like weird. You know? Like, they want more, I don't know. They don't care about character as much as the body. It's like, what are you? They're all messed up. Yeah, it's kind of unclear what she's talking about. It sounds a lot more like our Middle Eastern societies. For real. Like, they don't even care the personality of the person. It's very, like, objectifying, you know? It's not mature at all. He was smoking now in silence, for Frodo was sitting still, deep in thought. Even in the light of morning, he felt the dark shadow of the tidings that Gandalf had brought. At last, he broke the silence. Last night, you began to tell me strange things about my ring, Gandalf, she said. And then you stopped, because you said that such matters were best left until daylight. Don't you think you had better finish now? You say the ring is dangerous, far more dangerous than I guess. In what way? In many ways, answered the wizard. It is far more powerful than I ever dared to think at first. So powerful that in the end it would utterly overcome anyone of mortal race who possessed it. It would possess him. In Eregion, long ago many elven rings were made, magic rings as you call them, and they were, of course, of various kinds. Some were potent and some less. The lesser rings were only essays in the craft before it was full grown, and to the elven smiths they were but trifles. Yet still to my mind dangerous for mortals. But the great rings, the ring of power, they were perilous. A mortal Frodo, who keeps one of the great rings, does not die, but he does not grow or obtain more life. He merely continues until at last every minute is a weariness. And if he often uses the ring to make himself invisible, he fades. He becomes in the end invisible permanently, and walks in the twilight under the eye of the dark power that rules the rings. Yet, sooner or later, if he is strong or well-meaning to begin with, but neither strength nor good purpose will last. Sooner or later, the dark power will devour him. Yo, wait, this actually gives a little bit of insight as to why Bilbo and Frodo kept looking younger, and everybody was, like, weirded out. They're like, why are they not aging? It's part of the ring. It makes you, like, immortal, but also, like, makes you fade. Makes you, like, I don't know. Like, what else did they say? Wariness. The dark power will devour him. Yeah. Bro, Jojo, yo, how's it going? Welcome back to the stream, Mr. Macaroni. My life has changed now that I've rewatched both of the Miles Morales movies. Bro, I love those movies. I rewatched them recently too, and I literally cried. It's like, man, they're such masterpieces. I could only hear the audio just by talking about it. How terrifying, said Frodo. There was another long silence. The sound of Sam Gamgee cutting the lawn came in from the garden. How long have you known this? Asked Frodo at length. And how much did Bilbo know? Bilbo knew no more than he told you, I'm sure, said Gandalf. He would certainly never have passed on to you anything that he thought would be a danger, even though it promised to look after you. He thought the ring was very beautiful and very useful at need, and if anything was wrong or queer, it was himself. He said that it was growing on his mind, and he was always worrying about it, but he did not suspect that the ring itself was to blame. Though he had found out that the thing needed looking after, it did not seem always of the same size or weight. It shrank or expanded in an odd way, and might suddenly slip off a finger where it had been tight. Yes, he warned me of that in his last letter, said Frodo, so I have always kept it on its chain. Very wise, said Gandalf, but as for his long life, Bilbo never connected it with the ring at all. He took all the credit for that to himself, and he was very proud of it. Though he was getting restless and uneasy, thin and stretched, he said, a sign that the ring was getting control. I like everything Spider-Man, so I'm so happy I watched these. Wait, The Lord of the Rings actually about rings? Yeah, yeah, man, yeah, it's weird. A lot of these titles of books, they don't have much to do with the content itself, sometimes. Like The Hunger Games? Who's hungry? They had food from those, like, sponsors. I mean, they're fighting more than they were hungry, honestly. They're not really. Anyways. How long have you known all this? Asked Frodo again. Known, said Gandalf. I have known much that only the wise know, Frodo. If you mean known about this ring, well, I still don't know, one might say. There is a last test to make, but I no longer doubt my guess. When did I first begin to guess? He mused, searching back in memory. Let me see. It was in the year that the White Council drove the dark power from Mirkwood, just before the Battle of Five Armies, that Bilbo found his ring. A shadow fell on my heart then, though I did not know yet what I feared. I wondered often how Gollum came by a great ring, as plainly it was. That at least was clear from the first. Then I heard Bilbo's strange story of how he had won it, and I could not believe it. When I at last got the truth out of him, I saw at once that he had been trying to put his claim to the ring beyond doubt. Much like Gollum was his birthday present. With his birthday present, the lies were too much alike for my comfort. Clearly the ring had been an unwholesome power that set to work on its keeper at once. That was the first real warning I had that all was not well. I told Bilbo often that such rings were better left unused, but he resented it and soon got angry. There was little else that I could do. I could not take you from him without doing greater harm, and I had no right to do so anyway. I could only watch and wait. I might perhaps have consulted Saruman the White, but something always held me back. Gotta go. Okay, bye. I haven't watched or read it, and I'm tired. Yeah. I haven't read it either or watched it, so it's my first time. I'm chewing hot glue because I don't have gum. Yeah, hot glue? Bro, that's so bad. You get it in just like microplastics. I think that's what hot glue is made of. Whatever it is, it's not edible. So, spit that out, Queen. Man, my throat's actually so scratchy. I don't know why. Am I getting sick? Bro. And I've been drinking so much water throughout this live. It's crazy. Like, I'm not even reading this much. But I respectfully request small change. Could you get something like a book stand so that the book is directly parallel to the camera and have the camera a bit closer? My eyesight is bad. Oh, sorry. A book stand is a good suggestion. I have one, but it's kind of like a really V shape. It's for the Quran. I got it from Amazon. But it doesn't look like it's from Amazon. Let me see if I have it. Okay. I don't even have it though. Let's see. What can we use? Let's see. Maybe this. Maybe that's too high though. Oh, how's that? Actually, no, that's just too. I don't think you could see this either. Yes, it's cool. We have one too. Oh, nice. I could zoom in though. Then you can see. Who's he? asked Frodo. I've never heard of him before. Maybe not, answered Gandalf. Hobbits are, or were, no concern of his. Yet he is great among the wise. He is the chief of my order, and the head of the council. His knowledge is deep, but his pride has grown with it, and he takes ill at any meddling. The lore of the elven rings, great and small, is his province. He has long studied it, seeking the lost secrets of their making. But when the rings were debated in the council, all that he would reveal to us of his ring lore told against my fears. So my doubts slept, but uneasily. Still, I watched and I waited. Yes, zooming is great. I actually see the words now. Yeah. Sorry about that. Because sometimes I have my, cat sitting there, and, my sister wants to see it, and, when she joins the stream, it's But, yeah, it makes sense that I should zoom when my cat's not here. Anyways, sorry, it's not really aligned anymore. But, yeah, I don't know if I could keep reading. My throat's kind of scratchy. But I'm glad that you're actually interested in the book, though. That's good, that's good. And all seemed well with Bilbo, and the years passed. Yes, they passed, and they seemed not to touch him. He showed no signs of age. The shadow fell on me again. But I said to myself, after all, he comes of a long-lived family on his mother's side. After all, he comes of a long-lived family on his mother's side. There is time yet. Wait. And I waited. Until that night, when he left this house. He said and did things that filled me with a fear that no words of Saruman could allay. I knew at last that something dark and deadly was at work, and I have spent most of the years since in finding out the truth of it. There wasn't any permanent harm done, was there? Asked Frodo anxiously. He would get all right in time. He would get all right in time, wouldn't he? But able to rest in peace, I mean. He felt better at once, said Gandalf, but there's only one power in this world that knows all about the rings and their effects. And as far as I know, there's no power in the world that knows all about hobbits. Among the wise, I'm the only one that goes in for hobbit lore, an obscure branch of knowledge, but full of surprises. Soft as butter they can be, and yet sometimes as tough as old tree roots. As tough as old tree roots. I think it's likely that some would resist the rings far longer than most of the wise would believe. I don't think you need to worry about them. So, some resist the rings far longer than most of the wise would believe. Of course, he possessed the rings for many years and used it, so it might take a long while for the influence to wear off, before it was safe for him to see it again. For instance, otherwise, he might live on for years quite happily, just stop as he was when he parted with it. For he gave it up in the end of his own accord. An important point. No, I was not troubled about dear Bilbo anymore, once he had let that thing go. It is for you that I feel responsible. Every time I try to vent to someone, they always have to go. They only respond with things like, it's okay, I'm sorry, and damn. Or they just make it about themselves. Oh, sorry, I feel like I've been making it about myself. Because I talk about my experience. But I feel like there's not much you can say. Like, what is it that you specifically want to hear somebody say? Like, I'm sorry that you're going through that. Hope you feel better. Like, what else? Like, how could somebody be there for you? No, that's okay. Okay. I hope so. Oh wait, you said it's okay. I'm sorry. That's exactly what I said. But when somebody's venting, the best thing you can tell them is I'm here for you. Like I hear you. But that still doesn't make you feel better. I don't know what could make you feel better though. For me, what makes me feel better is like being reminded of God in those times. Like that's literally what was happening. Like when a few streams ago when my dad was traumatizing me, and I was like, really like, oh man, feeling really bad. The person in the chat, I think it was Marley or something. Somebody with the, I don't know. They were talking about like, oh, just remember God. He's there for you. He loves you. It's like, oh man, like he said the perfect thing at such a perfect time. But it's different for everybody. I'm not sure. I'm sure like not everybody likes to hear that kind of thing in their sad times. So, yeah, it depends on the person. There isn't much people can say. Maybe try family or therapy. Friends are best for listening. Yeah, and even then, like some friends don't even like to listen. It could make you feel worse even. But it's not good to bottle things up. I don't know. I just want them to say more than 3 words. Yeah, makes sense. Maybe go to Durus too. They help a lot. Durus? What is that? Sounds like an Arabic word. Durus, like madrasa, like schools. I don't know what that is. I want to go to therapy, but my dad hasn't signed me up for anything. So if you have like your health insurance in the back of it, there's probably like a phone number you could call. But you probably don't have your health insurance card, so you could ask your dad. Ask him like, oh, I want to see my health insurance. Just to see which one we have. Or you could just like find it yourself. I don't know. I ain't going to no school counselor. Yeah. I don't know if those help. I've never had a school counselor before. Actually, no, I did. He was asking me, and it was like kind of forced. Like I didn't go to him. He's like, oh, okay, so what are you anxious about? Are you sad or anything? Like, oh, sometimes I get up in the morning. I'm not really motivated. Like I don't want to do anything. I just want to go back to sleep or not do anything. I don't really want to live. But he's like, okay, well, you need to do something that you're passionate about. What are you passionate about? It's like animals. He's like, okay, how about you volunteer? And I actually volunteered, and I felt so good. But I only went for like 1 day, bro. I literally just like walked the dog and called it a day. And I put that in my resume, like I've been a volunteer at animal shelter before. But nobody has to know how long I've been there. Religious lessons. Oh, okay. But she's not Muslim, so definitely ask dad for it. Mental health is crucial. Yeah. And I think he'll understand. Your dad is really nice, Queen. Like he actually cares about you. Even though like some things you said about him were weird, like the things he had on his phone. But that's not the point. The point is he's a good dad. Like he cooks for you, he cares for you. Alright, 20 more minutes of this maybe. Because I finished my whole water bottle. This is crazy. I barely drink water, but my throat is really bad. I'm also well with Bilbo, and the years passed. Yes, they passed on that. Same not to touch on showing no signs of age. The shadow followed me again, but I thought to myself, after all, he come along with family. On the other side, there's time. Yeah, wait. And I waited until that night when he left his house. He said and did things that feel you could feel in the words Sarman could have laid out in sometimes. Ever since Bilbo left, I have been deeply concerned about you, and about all these charming, absurd, helpless hobbits. It would be a grievous blow to the world if the dark power overcame the Shire. If all your kind, jolly, stupid Bulgars, Hornborers, Boffins, Brace Girdles, and the rest, not to mention the ridiculous Bagginses, became enslaved. Frodo shuddered. But why should we be? He asked, and why should he want slaves? To tell you the truth, replied Gandalf, I believe that hitherto, mark you, he had entirely overlooked the existence of hobbits. You should be thankful, but your safety has passed. He does not need you. He has made He has many more useful servants, but he won't forget you again. And hobbits are miserable slaves. As miserable slaves would please him far more than hobbits happy and free. There is such a thing as malice and revenge. Revenge? Said Frodo. Revenge for what? I still don't understand what all this has to do with Bilbo and myself and our dream. It has everything to do with it, Gandalf, said Gandalf. You do not know the real peril yet, but you shall. I was not sure of it myself when I was last here, but the time has come to speak. Give me the ring for a moment. Well, volunteering at a shelter is fun. Animals are really good for mental support too. Well, animal shelter, that is. Yeah. They are. I mean, I'm not very fond of dogs. Because I was kind of scared of the dog I was walking. Like, he was walking me more than I was walking him. I had never walked a dog before that day either, so. But yeah, in general, animals make me feel good too. And they just have that quality, you know. Yeah, anything God made, it has that effect of making you feel better. Which is, be it nature or like anything. But then I think about it, and I'm probably gonna say like two words and cry, and that would be a bad first impression. And how do I talk about my feelings? Do I just complain, tell them everything, or tell them everything? Oh, um, yeah. Honestly, tell them everything. That's what therapists are for. They're there to listen. And for me, I've been to therapy a couple times, so I know you can end up crying. It's natural. Like my sister's a therapist. Okay, she tells us her clients cry all the time, and it's because you're being vulnerable. You end up crying without wanting to. It's not in your control. Okay, once you talk about it, because all you're used to is holding it in. Like you don't think naturally that there's anybody in the world to talk to for real about your issues. But when you actually get that, like an actual therapist, like person for that job specifically, yeah, you're gonna feel very safe. And crying only happens when you feel safe. You know, you could Google that. Well, you cry when you feel safe. So yeah, they're definitely a safe space for you to talk about anything you want. And it gets in your feels. Like I've been there. Trust me. Frodo took it from his breeches pocket, where it was clasped to a chain that hung from his belt. He unfastened it and handed it slowly to the wizard. It felt suddenly very heavy, as if either it or Frodo himself was in some way reluctant for Gandalf to touch it. Gandalf held it up, and it looked to be made of pure and solid gold. Can you see any markings on it? He asked. No, said Frodo. There are none. It is quite plain, and it never shows a scratch or sign of wear. My dad has been saying he'll make dinner soon for an hour. Bro. That's why you're hungry, Queen. Ooh. What is that? Last page, guys, or? $62. Next is 18. 18 more pages till the chapter is done. He still hasn't prepared a single thing. Bro, at this point, you could make it. Like, you're a good cook, Queen. If you depend on your dad too much while he acts like this, you're gonna starve to death. Yes, go for it. Okay. Last page. Well then, look. To Frodo's astonishment and distress, the wizard threw it suddenly into the middle of a glowing corner of the fire. Frodo gave a cry and groped for the tongs, but Gandalf held him back. Wait, he said in a commanding voice, giving Frodo a quick look from under his bristling brows. No apparent change came over the ring. After a while, Gandalf got up, closed the shutters outside the window, and drew the curtains. The room became dark and silent, though the clack of Sam's shears, now nearer to the windows, could still be heard faintly from the garden. For a moment the wizard stood looking at the fire. Then he stooped and removed the ring from the hearth with the tongs, and at once picked it up. Frodo gasped. "It is quite cool," said Gandalf. "Take it." Frodo received it on his shrinking palm, and seemed to have become thicker and heavier than ever. "Hold it up," said Gandalf, "and look closely." As Frodo did so, he now saw fine lines, finer than the finest pen strokes, running along the ring, outside the inside. Outside and inside. Lines of the fire that seemed to form the letters of a flowing script. They shone piercingly bright and yet remote, as if out of a great depth. So looks like a C and an H and O like choo zoop whatever. But yeah. I cannot read the fiery letters, said Frodo in a quavering voice. No, said Gandalf, but I can. The letters are elvish and of ancient mode, but the language is that of Mordor, which I will not utter here. But this is a common tongue. This is the common tongue, and is what it said. Close enough. One ring to rule them all, one ring to find them all, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. It is only 2 lines of a verse long known in Elvish lore. 3 rings for the elven kings under the sky, 7 for the dwarf lords in their halls of stone, 9 for the mortal men doomed to die in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. One ring to rule them all 1 ring to find them all, 1 ring to bring them all, and in the darkness find them in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. Okay, I said I'd stop at this page, but it's like so interesting. He paused and then he said slowly in a deep voice, "This is the master ring, the one ring that rules them all. This is the one ring that he lost many ages ago to the great weakening of his power. He greatly desires it, but he must not get it." Frodo sat silent and motionless. Fear seemed to stretch out a vast hand, like a dark cloud rising in the east and looming up to engulf him. "This ring?" he stammered. How on earth did it come to me?" "Ah," said Gandalf, "this is a very long story. The beginnings lie back in the Black Years, which only the lore masters now remember. If I were to tell you all the tale, we should still be sitting here with the spring, when spring has passed into winter. But last night I told you of Sauron the Great, the Dark Lord. The rumors that ye have heard are true. He has indeed arisen again and left his hold in Mirkwood and returned to his ancient fastness in the Dark Tower of Mordor. That name even you hobbits have heard of, like a shadow of the borders of old stories. Always, after a defeat and a respite, the shadow takes another shape and grows again. I wish it need not have happened in my time, said Frodo. So do I, said Gandalf, and so do we all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. And already, Frodo, our time is beginning to look black. The enemy is fast becoming very strong. His plans are far more ripe, I think, but they are ripening. Wow, it kind of reminds of Dajjal, bro. I don't know if you still hear Annie, but yeah, Dajjal vibes. Like saying, I wish this didn't happen during our time. Man, the times of Fitna are really fast. Like, they're coming really fast. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna stop there, guys. I don't know if y'all still here, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one, inshallah. I hope you feel better clean. But yeah, take care, guys. Yes, bye. Bye.